This is a show that will blow your mind, but it might not. It all depends. Do you like breakfast and a book with a friend?
Hello, everybody, out in the internet's quarantine world. I am about to make oatmeal. I'm gonna get crazy today. I mean, oatmeal. Whew. Oatmeal is a hard thing to make, you guys. I mean, there's water, there's oats. What are you gonna do with all the ingredients? I do also add butter and some brown sugar and a tiny bit of regular sugar and some cinnamon. So we got butter, oats, salt, cinnamon, and of course brown sugar. Tommy Phillips says hi. Hey Tommy, how's it going? This is my show. It's cooking, breakfast, and a book with Swallow. Today, we are going to make oatmeal. The water's boiling now. And talk about vampire hunter, Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter. Butter. Yes, correct. Butter. Okay, let's do this, you guys. Let's get these oats going. Check this out. Whew, we're gonna get crazy. We got a cup of oats and about a little less than 1/3 cup, maybe 1.5 cups. And we do this, we pour it in there. Whew, this is crazy. Don't get too nuts, guys. I have a rubber spoon, all right? The reason I have a rubber spoon is because, oops, now we gotta turn this off. It's an electric stove, so as soon as you turn it off, it stays on for a while, so it's still gonna boil and everything. I still with a friend. So then you let it boil for a while. It's pretty exciting, you guys. Look at this. A watch pot never boils, except for a boiling pot is boiling already. Ha! I tricked you guys. Also, again, hair just looks like this when I wake up. So then we have to sit here for a little while. I always suggest that you stir the oats while you're doing it and just kind of keep stirring it a little bit. When you do that, it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. If you have a good pan, it'll never stick to the bottom of the pan. Holy crap, my hair is hilarious. This is what happens when you do a real morning show where you just get up and you look like you look like. You don't put on any makeup. I don't have any makeup. Do people on the TV shows put on makeup, guys? I think they do. You know, just like a little base or something like that. Make the wrinkles look less wrinkly. I like my wrinkles. I don't know about you guys. Wrinkles. That's from smiling a lot, you guys. Oh, this oatmeal, it's almost done because it's quick oatmeal. Ooh, quick oatmeal. See this? Oh, yeah. Almost done. So now we're going to do the fun part. We are going to add butter. I'm going to put this here so you can't see how irresponsible I am being with this butter. I'm going to put so much butter, you guys. I'm going to put an outlandish amount of butter into this oatmeal. I put it in while it's still cooking a little bit because I think that adds more flavors because then the flavors gets cooked in there. I also don't know that that's a fact. I also forgot to add a little salt. And then I put the brown sugar in. I got a spoon over here. And first I was afraid to get back home.
First I was afraid to get back home. Sweet little darling, don't you cry. I don't know why that song popped in my head, but it did. I'm going to put a little regular sugar in there. Not very much, about this much. Okay, bam, boom, shlaka boom. And then we got sugar and cinnamon. That's just going to be a little dot. Boop, 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 boop. Then we stir it all up. We're stirring oatmeal, we're stirring oatmeal. This is what I do to try to entertain you while I'm cooking, because I don't know if cooking is that entertaining, but me stirring oatmeal and singing, that's entertaining. I'm stirring oatmeal, I'm stirring oatmeal, stirring oatmeal. Now I think the oatmeal is ready. Technically, that's probably 2 servings of oatmeal. Don't get crazy, guys. I am eating 2 bowls of oatmeal. Exactly. Janet says the thing with butter in hot cereal is the almost caramelly thing it does with the brown sugar. Exactly. Alex says, I like that song. I also like that I'm out in the barn as you're recording this. I find it funny. Yes, Alex is my roommate who lives out in the barn. All right, you guys. Now we get a spoon to eat this. And we are going to carry the stuff out there first and then meet you out there. So, all right, here we go. I just made oatmeal, we're walking through my house, yeah. I got a laptop in my hand. I fixed it yesterday because I am handy. But I didn't really fix it because it needs a thermal paste. And then also probably needs maybe a new fan, but we're gonna try thermal paste first before buying a new fan. All right, guys, welcome to my breakfast nook. Got the book back here. I have nunchucks. I have nunchucks. Yeah! I can't do too much because it would knock things around. So, you guys, welcome to the breakfast nook. I got my dragon, I got my reading gargoyle, I got Ray, we got oatmeal, bam. See how it turned out? Oatmeal, super easy to cook. I would suggest it. Oh, it's very hot. Alex said at least it's not in pieces anymore. Yes, my laptop, I took it apart and I put it back together, but I fixed it. That's what you do, guys. So, for those of you just joining, this is Breakfast and a Book with Swallow and cooking breakfast in a book, because if you just joined us, I just made oatmeal just before this, and it is very hot. So I'm going to talk for a little bit about the very cool book, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I got this book because I was just looking through a store and I thought, this is ridiculous. I wonder how many people think this is real. You guys, there are people who think it's real. Yeah, there are people who think this is a nonfiction book that's telling the real, true history of Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter. People on the internet are real dumb. Like believe anything dumb. But I get it, you know? Like, you want to believe in vampires, you think Abraham Lincoln is cool, why not? Why not? He was the guy who killed all the vampires. You never know, guys. But, actually, you do know, by the way. Abraham Lincoln was for sure not a vampire hunter. He was just a politician. One of the coolest politicians of all time. My girlfriend says vampires are real, you skeptic. No, they're not. Or are they? I am a finger vampire. Yeah, I'm doing all of this just to sort of entertain people during the quarantine. So I hope me being goofy on here is at least giving you something to do that doesn't that's not thinking about how we're all going to get through this. At least they passed that package. Maybe that'll help us all out. Maybe it won't. Let's read the sleeve / back of Abraham Lincoln, a Vampire Hunter. Indiana, 1818. Moonlight falls through the dense woods that surround a one-room cabin where a 9-year-old Abraham Lincoln kneels at his suffering mother's bedside. She's been stricken with something the old-timers call milk sickness. "My baby boy," she whispers before dying. Only later will the grieving Abe learn that his mother's fatal affliction was actually the work of a vampire. When the truth becomes known to young Lincoln, he writes in his journal, "Henceforth my life shall be one of rigorous study and devotion. I shall become a master of mind and body, and this mastery shall have but one purpose." Gifted with his legendary height, strength, and skill with an axe, Abe sets out on a path of vengeance that will lead him all the way to the White House. While Abraham Lincoln is widely lauded for saving the Union and freeing millions of slaves, his valiant fight against the forces of the undead has remained in the shadows for hundreds of years. That is, until Seth Graham Smith stumbled upon the secret journal of Abraham Lincoln and became the first living person to lay eyes on it in more than 140 years. Using the journal as his guide and writing in the grand biographical style of Doris Kearns Goodwin and David McCullough, Seth has reconstructed the true life story of our greatest president for the first time, all while revealing the hidden history behind the Civil War and uncovering the role vampires played in the birth, growth, and near death of our nation. I mean, come on, guys. Is that not silliness? Well, this book posits that vampires and shitty white dudes were the guys who owned slaves, and they used them to feed vampires and stuff like that. And then so it still has the shitty white dudes being shitty white dudes, but then it also has even shittier white dudes who are vampires being shittier white dudes. Holy shit, Ian McLeod is watching. Hi, Ian. If you guys don't know, Ian McLeod is one of the greatest rollerbladers of all time. I'm saying that, Ian. I think it's true. You probably don't think it's true because you're so humble, but you're freaking awesome. Anyways, the Vampire Hunter series is pretty great. It's not a series though, but he also wrote Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and he has a few other things like that. So you should check those out. So I'm gonna open up in a weird part and just read whatever's there because that's what I do for the books, you guys. When I'm looking for a book and I don't know the author, I just open up and I look at it and I see how it's going. So let's see here. In early July, Abe and his men were finally discharged and began the long journey home. Not a single war story to tell among them. Abe reached New Salem, where he found 2 letters in need of his urgent attention, less than 2 weeks before the election for state legislature. He resumed his candidacy at once, shaking hands and knocking on doors day and night. Unfortunately, the field had ballooned to 13 candidates while he'd been away battling mosquitoes. With so much time lost and so many candidates splitting the votes, he didn't stand a chance. Abe finished 8th. But there was a silver lining, one that even the depressed and defeated Lincoln couldn't help but see. Of all 300 votes cast in New Salem, only 23 had been cast against him. Those who knew him overwhelmingly endorsed him. It was merely a matter of shaking more hands. His political career began. Alex, my roommate Alex says, "I own this book." Michelle, I don't know Chinese very well, but that's awesome. Tell me what that says. Now I need a translation. I'll translate it later. But basically, this tells the story of how Abraham Lincoln was totally a kick-ass vampire hunter who went through the land whooping vampires' asses. And then I don't want to give away the ending, but there is a surprise ending. Yeah, you guys, a very surprise ending. Because I don't want to give it away. But you guys, Abraham Lincoln saved the world and is probably still saving the world. Um, this book is pretty good. It's fun. It's fast paced. It's an easy read. If you're into this, I would take a bath and read this book because taking a bath is great. Reading books is great. You combine them and you throw some Epsom salts in there. That's good for your muscles. Maybe you take a little walk around your neighborhood at night when there are no people because it's the pandemic and you should be staying inside, um, and all that good stuff. So let's see. Well, let's get this oatmeal in me. Let's see how it tastes. Oatmeal. Pretty good. Nice job, Swallow. So I guess that's basically the show, you guys. I would definitely suggest this book and all of the books that he's written. Also, I love the back cover. Look at this. Yeah, I would definitely suggest this book. Check it out. Get in there. Um, if you were a type of person who has the money to support artists, do it. Throw some money out to all your favorite artists. I have a Patreon for my podcast Nerd Goat, which you should be listening to because it is one of the best podcasts on the planet. I'm gonna say it. It's a great podcast. We talk about people's favorite fictional character. Normally we have guests on. The newest episodes are gonna have just us three, obviously, because we can't have guests come on and stuff like that. Although we might try to pull it off through Skype with somebody at some point, but. Oh, yeah, it doesn't let you post pictures. My friend was saying I took a pic of my book for proof, but it won't let me post pictures because my roommate has the same book. We own the same book. We're like twinsies. And yes, if you want to throw me some cash digitally, you can hit me up at ron-swallow or at my PayPal is ronswallow@gmail. So if you can do that and you have the working from home situation or doing okay. I have only been doing contractor jobs my whole life, and so pretty much that means I got no money. Although I guess some of the relief package is going to help out a little bit, but probably not a ton. So if you can, throw me some cash or support my Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/nerdgoatpodcast. You get stuff out of the whole deal besides my goofy morning show. In the Nerd Goat, you get extra podcasts that Ed, I, and producer Bill. We also had one with Mark Ellis where we talked about Stan Lee. We do goofy voices, all kinds of other crazy, wacky stuff on our Nerd Goat Patreon. So yeah, so check that out. I'm pretty proud of my podcast, to be honest. Also, Kelly's on. Hi, Kelly. Kelly, you always seem to come on at the end of the show. But just to recap, because you're here specifically, this is for you. We were talking about Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Abraham Lincoln is like a pro at chopping off vampires' heads and wrestling them around and stuff, even though vampires are very strong. The book is not, I mean, the movie is not as good as the book. I know people say that all the time, but this case it is actually true. Although I will tell you, I kind of enjoyed the movie a little bit. I know a lot of people thought the movie was cheesy, but I thought it was pretty cool. Yes, the part where he's riding on horses like he's surfing them is a little over the top. Juan says hello. Hello, Juan. How's it going? We're talking about Vampire Hunter, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. You. Which one's you, Vampire? Which one's you, William? You're talking about the Vampire Hunter thing? Well, the movie was ridiculous, but kind of good. Yes, it was a super cheesy. You're right. It was very cheesy. It was like a little over the top. Yeah, absolutely it was. But hey, sometimes you got to enjoy a over the top movie. Like, who doesn't enjoy everything that Nicolas Cage has done, even though every single thing he does is a little over the top. Just a little. That's as wide as I can open on the camera. So thank you guys for checking out my goofy show. I hope I'm keeping you entertained for the Corona apocalypse, as I'm calling it. I'm hoping we come out of it soon. Alex says I haven't read my book, but now I need to go. So thank you. Yes, you do need to read it. It is actually worth reading. It's very entertaining. It's sort of like in a, it's sort of like in his, almost like he's telling the story through a diary kind of situation, almost like a documentary style, with a little bit of over the top. Anyways, it's pretty good. The book is much better, and you should all check it out. And check out this author in general, Seth Graham Smith. This is your opportunity, guys. Start reading again. You can get it on your phone. You don't have to go buy physical books. You can just, put it on your Kindle, your Nook, your tablet, your whatever you got. Shit, you can put it on your laptop. Start reading some books, you guys, because reading is going to save us all. It's going to, or at least put you in a different world for a little while you're like, I can't leave. So get back onto reading, and thank you for listening and watching Cooking, Breakfast, and a Book with Swallow. That's me. Thanks, and have a nice rest of the day, guys. Oh, one more thing. Check out Reboot It, you guys. Reboot It. YouTube. Check it out. Okay, bye.